right, so welcome to this session. We're going to be talking about the circumscribed objective. This technique was first mentioned or published in the 1930s in the Pickle-Daniel extension course of grain market analysis. Later on, it was quoted by GAN expert, the late Jerome Baumring, in the GAN Harmony course. But the reason I love this technique is that it focuses on one of the legs that we really haven't isolated yet, which is the BC leg of the patterns that we like to trade. So by just using the BC leg information, we're able to identify the end of the D point. So let's have a little bit closer look at the circumscribed objective. So as I mentioned, we're going to be focusing on the BC leg of the pattern. And that, in this example, will be here. We've got an A, B, C, D. So here's our BC. And make sure that we've, of course, locked up the time and price ratios on our screen with our emblem and our quad. And after we've done that, we can identify this BC leg here. Now, this BC leg is going to be the radius of a circle. We'll need to draw a circle based on that high and low, and this is what it looks like. So you can see there's going to be some resistance here, and that's very typical. This is a very general technique if we just use the circle by itself, and we can do that if we choose to. But what's even better is when we start adding a few other lines here. The first thing that we would need to do after drawing the circle is drawing a horizontal line from this high over to above the low. So we'll call that a horizontal 100% time line. And we'll need to duplicate that line segment over to the right side of the screen. And that would look like this. All right. So you can see these two lines are of equal length here. We don't really need this. I put this in as a reference point so you can see that the length of this horizontal line corresponds to the low over here. Now, once we get to the edge of this line, the idea is that we're going to draw another line from this low to intersect with the right side of this second line that we've drawn, and then we extend that line off into the future. And we want to see where on the circle that new line intersects with the circle. So let's add a line here. So you can see this is the objective right here. The intersection of this line with the circle, that's what we're looking for. So let's crack open some charts and have a look how we would do it in Market Analyst. All right, so here we have a chart of Bed Bath & Beyond, and we got a trend continuation pattern here. Let's first put the emblem on. So it looks like a bearish 52. Let's scale up the chart here a little bit. This way. There we go, like that. Okay. So a little finessing there. And all right. So what we'll do now, we'll put the quad on. Okay, so the tip of the quad is still closer to the 52-degree angle, so we're okay with that. Now what we're going to do is, just for fun, just to review what we covered off in our previous sessions, we're doing a time price vector on this one. And where's that last label? Add new label. Do this. that. And let me just turn the magnet off here. Okay, it looks like, there we go. So if that's within our tolerance there, the tip of the quad is on the 5th, and this is on the 14th. It should be within our 20% tolerance. If we're doing a time price vector, that would say yes. The last thing we're doing here is the circumscribed objective. And remember, we got to focus on the B and the C point. And I'm going to turn off a lot of these things that I just used here so that you can see what's going on. Okay. What the heck? Let's turn off this quad as well. Okay. So it was BC right over here. So I'll draw the circle. Okay, there's your circle. Now, use a trend line segment and use the crosshairs to line up your line segment above the low here. That would be the C point. And I'm drawing a line over here to B. All right? So there's my line segment. Now, you notice how I drew the line from C to B? Sometimes we might want to draw the other way, from going from left to right. In this case, I want you to do it backwards because I'll show you an easy way to duplicate this line here in Market Analyst. So drawing from C to B, now I'm going to flip this line here by opening up my control panel here, and I'm going to do what's called a time flip. Check this out. Boom. There, that was easy, wasn't it? Okay, so that's your time flip on that line segment, drawing it from C to B, and then just right click and go over here. Once the line's highlighted, make sure you highlight the line, and then you go here and do this time flip right there. All right. Okay, so now that you got that done, then it's a simple thing to draw one more trend line from the C point to the edge here of that line that you just drew, but extend the line and make sure it lines up with the side of that horizontal line that you just drew there, and watch how the line extends up here, and this is your objective right there. This is your circumscribed objective right there. So you got a specific place in time and price where you expect the market to reverse. Now let's bring back the other analysis techniques that we put on the screen there. So our tip of our quad is here, closer to 52, so we're looking for a reversal on the 52-degree angle. And our circumscribed objective is over here, and you can see that that is actually closer. If you had to pick an exact point in time and price here for your circumscribed objective, it would be closer to this angle versus your 52. So this would be one of those times where, yes, your circumscribed objective nailed this in time analysis and other things, but if I had this as part of my trading plan as a filter, and that's what this is, it is a filter, you would disregard this circumscribed objective because your objective is closer to a different angle versus what the quad was pointing at. All right? So you wouldn't take the trade. I just want to show you what it's like when we use the technique, and sometimes we're not going to use it at all. It's very similar to our other methods, our other filters. We want to make sure that the objective in time and price is closer to the angle that the quad's telling you to trade off of, right? Okay, so let's look at another example. All right, so here's a soybean trade setup, a bearish 52 potential. So let's have a look here with the emblem. So it looks like the scaling set up for us already. We'll put the quad here. All right, and let's have a look here. Yeah. It's probably a better fit there. All right, so you can see I've done a little bit of an alternate there because this high lines up nicely. The tip of the quad is close to the 52, so that's what we're looking for. Now let's apply the circumscribed objective. So we first draw a circle on B to C. There's the radius. And I'm going to turn off the emblem and turn that off so we can see what's going on here. All right, so we're going to draw this trend line segment above the C low. Okay, so there's our trend line segment. Now I'm going to duplicate this. How do I do it? Just highlight it, go over here, do a time flip, and sometimes I don't know why it goes over there, but we can drag it and drop it over here. So that's really what we're doing is we got one line segment there, the other one is over here. And now I'm going to draw my trend line from here, lining up with the edge of this horizontal line. And so here is the circumscribed objective right there. So let's add some bars and see what happens here. Pardon me, let's go back and add the emblem and everything else that we had. Okay, so we're looking to sell at 52. It looks like the bar has touched it already. Let's change the color of the circle and the trend line here so we can see it. Let's go with red for an example. Go like that. Okay, that's better. So there's our circumscribed objective right there. The first step is, does it confirm the existing analysis? Which it does, because the quad is telling you 52, and the intersection of these circle and the line is right on 52. So that's sweet. You want that. Now the other thing that we're going to do is compare the day. This is Tuesday, May the 9th, compared to the tip of the quad is May the 7th. We're only talking 2 days difference. That's within our 20% risk or 20% tolerance that we've set for this filter, just like we did with the TPV. So, okay, let's add some bars. Okay, we're looking to enter on the low of the high bar. So this is the highest bar here. I'm going to use the range of this bar to get in. Okay, so if the next bar takes out 757 on the beans, I'm going to be in. Okay, so it'd be filled right here. And it looks like we hit our first target already, so we'd move our stop over to what, 764. All right, so we would have hit our second target there. And we move our stop to entry right there. And at this point, we'd be applying the X bar or a 3-bar trailing stop. As long as it goes below the 757, we're going to be good on that. Okay, so now our 3-bar trailing stop is in effect. That's nice, keeps us in. So you see a lot of congestion here. Just to point out, if you don't know much about 3-bar trailing stop, it ignores inside bars. So that's what you got going on there. Okay, so that's it. You would have been stopped out there at 7:15, and there you got a good example of the circumscribed objective on a bearish 52. All right, so let's review what we covered off here today. So we want to use a circumscribed objective on the BC leg to find D. The other techniques that we use have been focusing on other legs. This is unique in the sense it's focusing on the BC. So once you've done the circle, the horizontal lines, and drawing the final trend line for the circumscribed objective, you got to determine if the objective confirms the analysis that you've done already with our emblem in the quad. The quad points to one of the angles. Does the circumscribed objective confirm that? Is it closer to that angle versus the other angles? Once you've done that, we got to confirm the fact that the day that the circumscribed objective lands on is within the tolerance level of your trading plan for this particular filter. So for an example, we looked at 20% on TPVs. We can use 20 on this as well, and make sure that we have the objective giving us a date that's within 20% of the projected D point at the tip of the quad. So that's it for the circumscribed objective. Next session, we're going to be covering off another filter, and that's going to be called Trajan's triangle.